Pico Great Debate. Thank you so much for being here. The person that you'll hear from is our new Assistant City Manager, Mark Orm. So without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Dr. Kimberly Perry.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So a couple weeks ago, I was doing a couple opening comments to a group of elementary school children. And when I said good morning, we had to repair the roof because they were so excited. So I'm sure you're all excited to be here, but maybe a little bit nervous. But let's try it again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Much better. A little lower pitch than the elementary school children, but exciting nonetheless. We'll have the assistant city manager check the roof later. You know, when you pick up the paper or open your web browser, you can't help but notice some of the issues that are polarizing our country today. And ironically, here in California, we have a longitudinal polarizing line called political party affiliation. And if you live in general, on the west side of Highway 5, you are a Democrat. If you live on the right side of Highway 5, although it gets weird down in LA, but that's LA, you're a Republican. And there are all sorts of polarizing issues relative to party affiliations, and that when we see them being played out in our papers and on our web browsers every day. The day before yesterday, the Senate thwarted an attempted to filibuster so that they can consider gun control legislation for the first time in 20 years. Talk about a polarizing issue, because it's such an emotional issue. And what about our Second Amendment rights? What about same-sex marriage? That's in the news a lot today because of President Obama's recent comments relative to that. In 2008, the California Supreme Court said that same-sex marriage was legal in the state of California. And 5 months later, we passed Proposition 8, which defines constitutionally marriages between people of the different genders. 18,000 people got married in that 5 months, and those marriage licenses stand to this day, and it's still being heard in the Supreme Court. But talk about a polarizing issue, depending upon what you think about same-sex marriage. Does this sound familiar? Control the border. Reinstate work visa programs. Legalize the 11 million folks that are already here. Hold employers accountable for their employees' work histories. And my least favorite, just send them back. I think you can figure out what side I stand on that issue. That sounds familiar. Talk about a polarizing issue. So I grew up in Southern California, and I came up to school at UC Davis, and all I hear about, and you can still hear it to this day, is you guys are taking our water to fill your swimming pools and water your lawns. Now, how many of you have actually heard or said that? Oh, come on, be proud, admit it. Water is a polarizing issue latitudinally in this state. You either have water or you don't have water, but it's not quite that simple. Where would San Francisco be without the Hetch Hetchy Dam? It would be nowhere. It's safe to say that the state of California is the most hydrologically altered region on the planet. We have lush green agriculture, which was once desert, and we have desert where there was once lush green natural lakes. We've seen the drying up of our own vernal pools here in Butte County due to our housing developments.
How are you today?
I'm good.
I saw your great debate, and it was really good.
Thank you.
Are you enjoying yourself here?
Yes, I am.
Do you think it's important that we have this debate?
Yeah, I think it's really important. Everybody just to know like all the topics, and water is such a big issue right now.
Yeah. Are you from this area?
I just go to school here.
Or do you? Are you from the South?
I'm from the Bay Area.
Oh, are you? Okay. Okay, so you know the Delta.
Yeah.
Definitely. Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's important to implement these easements because if the above facts that I've told you about aren't enough, consider the global context. If California were a country, its agricultural value would rank between 5th and 9th among countries of the world, depending which currency exchange rates are used, ahead of Canada, Mexico, Germany, and Spain. California's agricultural exports reached an all-time high of $10.9 billion. So, providing these facts, I feel like California's agriculture about, I mean, well, first of all, we grow so many crops in California, and that's obviously one of the biggest things that we have going on. So we need to preserve it, and also for generations to come. I mean, once we build and develop on fertile agricultural land, that's kind of it. It's never going to be what it was. So we need to preserve what we have, not only for us and for the crops and for food for us now, but for our children and our children's children. Like the woman who opened up the name said,
In my personal opinion, I do agree. I just have to do the negative case.
So she agrees with me.
Yeah, I agree with what she has to say.
My personal view on my case is that all water, whether it's surface water or groundwater, no matter the definition, should be conserved, not only for drought, but for all humans.
I agree with her. I may be on the negative, but I do agree that water needs to be conserved for drought or any case where we might need water for the future.
Hi! Are you excited to be here today?
I am stoked.
Yes.
Yes.
This is our teacher, Kelly, by the way.
Hi.
Are you interested in the Great Debate and what it has to offer?
Yeah, I was a little skeptical at first. Last semester was the first time that I was involved, and I felt like I was making students do another school thing, and I didn't feel comfortable about it. And I came with a pretty negative view, and I walked away thinking, okay, there is a lot here, if only just to be involved in the community outside of the classroom. And so I'm becoming a big fan of the project.
Do you think this is going to make a difference, this debate that we're having?
I don't know if there's going to be very specific, tangible results, but I do think that this is modeling the fact that there are issues out there and that issues have multiple perspectives and multiple factors. And I think if students take away that complexity, that notion of complexity, then it's worth it.
Good, good. Does it affect you personally?
Water does. And
Water
this
does.
for this the event or the topic?
The debate, the topic, everything.
The topic, definitely. I am a gardener and I water everything by a hose. I have 2 acres.
Oh, wow.
And if my well ever runs dry, my property value will plummet because my house is not that great, but my yard is awesome. And I live amongst farmers, and so the economy of my whole community would collapse. And I walk along the levee system with my dogs on a daily basis, and instead I'm sure that would turn into a suburban neighborhood, and it would get paved over, and I would have no place to walk but sidewalks and boring houses.
Yeah, okay, great. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
What did you think about the Great Debate?
It was a little disappointing.
Why?
I had higher expectations than what it actually was.
Me too.
Yeah, especially with the Civic Expo didn't really have as many booths and things. It was kind of cramped. What did you think about the debate part?
I thought it was a lousy debate. It wasn't a debate, it was reading off a paper, so yeah.
I agree.
Did you enjoy any of it?
I probably would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't for the fact that I knew most people didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the idea of it, but my idea that it was going to be wasn't surpassed by what happened.
I think we should have presented.
Probably.
We wouldn't have to know the water.
Yeah.
Wired.
Just wired at the end of it.
I'm done.
So, what'd you get from the Great Debate, Heidi?
I just learned a couple things about how debates work in, I guess, the real world. That's pretty much what I learned.
I found it was a little boring.
Yeah, that was really boring.
The first room that we went to. Yeah.
I was falling asleep.
Did you take anything good away from it? Well, what was the most interesting part about the Great Debate?
Getting together as a group and the camaraderie. Interacting with other students.
Yeah. You get to see everybody's opinion on, I guess, water pretty much. Wasn't the greatest topic, but
Right. So what did you learn from the Great Debate?
Not a whole lot. I don't know, it was pretty uneventful and confusing. Oh.
What
That is how uninteresting it was.